IMS 2025, Mr. John Acquaviva, back on Enjoy Television. How are you?
Pleasure to be back, and great to see you here on the island, and share some stories, and also nice weather and good people and friends.
Such an interesting panel about the beginning of everything in Chile, and we heard some crazy history today.
I mean, I was there from like early days. The memories of Ricardo, but Luciano always blows my mind because I'm always learning something about because you travel the world, but even today, like the stories of the club I played and Luciano, the history, all my friends. I love my friends, and it's even better when we're not talking in public, when you're having dinner and drinks and telling the real story. But those were very real stories, so nice to be part of that story.
Absolutely. I read here Aquaholic.
Well, it's funny because today was a nostalgic panel, so I went through my closet and I've never done. I mean, I'm as an artist, I'm really boring, but I did more costume changes than I've ever done as a DJ because today I wore the coat I did the week before. I was like nostalgic, and I wanted to impress my friends that I may have bad memories, but I have all my old clothes, and so this is like the T-shirt of the night I did in Ibiza because
I counted 3 outfit changes today.
Thank you. Yes, I wore the jacket that I did with Horst Weidenmuller when we did MTV Europe Orange, and then I did Definitive because I'm reissuing the label. So, and then this was the night. It was a funny name. I mean, it was not about the music. It was about the alcohol. Joking. It was about the music.
Can you share with us one of the best memories you have in Chile? Because we are talking about that beautiful country.
Really, the first memory, after they did the desert rave, which I couldn't go, I went to Santiago, and it was the return of Ricardo, and Ricardo was nervous, and Ricardo was a promoter. I was working with him doing his parties, and then he started DJing, and that was his return to Chile and one of his first shows. So it was a pleasure to be with my dear friend. And I didn't realize the importance. And then Luciano told me about the history of the club, Oz. So it's incredible that I've had these friends and that we share these moments that were iconic or very important in the progression, the catalyst of the scene. And then Luciano reminded me. So my driver was a guy called Martin, who was the guy from Senor Coconut, and 17-year-old Luciano was one of my drivers and managers. He's like, you don't remember me? I was one of your helpers. And then, of course, so it's such a pleasure to have. I think of them as my little brothers, so in a very nice way. So, and we all take care of each other. We really are a family, and it's great to be part of another family in another country. And this is the beautiful thing about the music and our scene and our generation. And people need to remember this because it really started with heart and love. And now sometimes it's a business. But I think when we can have a passion and appreciate our family, why we do this, the money will come, but it has to start from the heart. And I think that the 90s were very important. Sharing these stories from the heart gives you the inspiration to be cultural, to be artistic. But we live in this world of capitalism, so that's the struggle. And not everyone can tell the story, but it's great to be part of people who find their way.
Great memories, great story. It's something crazy if you think about that time and we think about today, because you talk about soul, passion, love for the music. It's not like that anymore today. Now it's about exposure, social media. I want to be famous. I want to be rich.
Yeah, and Luciano told the story. The DJ booth was like hidden from the people, and now there's different motivations. The definition of a DJ is different. I'm not lamenting, because I'm telling the story on my terms. I'm successful on my terms. I'm in the daytime, I'm a capitalist. I have a history for some people who know, but that's because I want the culture to survive. So I manage that money so we could afford to be independent. And I still believe in the independent scene, independent people, independent business. And our community needs to remember that. Be careful the brands you follow, and so I believe in family restaurants, more small clubs, local music. You know, in Chile we have a cultural house and we do plays, we do live music from the locals, and that's very important. It's not just someone playing the same tech house records. And I withdrew from the tour, and I posted that on Instagram. You know, my thoughts on DJ life and DJ culture. I do it because I love it. I've made a lot of money. I've played for a long time, but my choices to support the community are very clear. My friends, culture, so important. It's not about all the money in the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.